to pay us a visit and talk about something about your car that you may or may not have known about. And this morning really is kind of fascinating, to be honest with you.
You know, it is, and this is something that a lot of people aren't aware of. I mean, but if you go to the internet and Google it, I mean, it's more common than people realize. And we're going to talk a little bit about sunroofs, because a lot of cars have those.
Right.
And there's an issue out there. It's been going on for a little while now, and it's named spontaneous sunroof shattering.
Oh wow!
And it's a situation where you're just driving down the road, or your car's sitting in a parking lot, and the sunroof just shatters. And this is what it looks like when it happens.
Do they know the cause of this yet, or not?
There's the NHTSA, the National Traffic Highway Safety Association, is currently investigating the issue to help determine why it is. There's some different speculation as to what's going on, and it certainly makes sense. But there's been complaints issued with the NHTSA for almost every manufacturer out there. So it isn't vehicle specific or manufacturer specific. Both Audi and Hyundai have done some recalls already on some of their cars that had the sunroof that had a shattering issue. But I mean, to be clear for the record, some of the manufacturers and some of the causes what they call environmental damage, which is basically a rock hits your sunroof. You're driving down the interstate, a rock hits your sunroof, and the thing shatters. And that's certainly
understandable.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And unless the rock comes inside the car, it's going to be hard to prove. But on a lot of these, they're seeing that the sunroof actually bows and shatters to the outside of the vehicle. And so the glass experts that have looked into this have come up with a couple of different reasons. One is, and I talk about it all the time on here, they're looking at corporate average fuel economy.
Right.
So manufacturers are trying to make the cars lighter so they can meet federal guidelines for fuel economy. So what's one way of making it lighter? Make the glass thinner. And
really?
that has certainly happened. Absolutely, that's happened. I mean, I remember back in the, I had a car with, remember, T-tops?
Oh, no question about it, with the Trans Ams.
Yeah. I mean, those things were heavy, and even sunroofs, I mean, the glass was very thick, and now it's become thin. The framework that goes around it's become thin. They're not using as much steel. They're using aluminum. So it's not as robust as it once was. And neither is the metal around it in the roof. So there's a little more flex in there that certainly can contribute to this. And then it
probably doesn't take a lot for it to break and shatter.
No, it's like anything. If you can throw a rock at a window, and if it hits just right, it'll shatter. And it's the same way with the sunroof. I mean, if you twist it or tweak it just right, I mean that glass is just going to explode.
Wow.
The other cause, and I think there's probably something to this, is temperature. You get it superheated to a certain point, and everything wants to expand. The air inside the car, the pressure builds up, and it wants to expand.
Sure.
And like this time of year, you see more of this in the southern states than you do around here. So I think the temperature comes into play as well. Probably the thin glass, and then superheated temperatures in the car are causing some of this problem. So
you'd have to think about the superheated temperature of the glass expanding beyond the frame's capacity.
Exactly.
And it's got to go somewhere.
It's got nowhere to go. Yeah, it's kind of like when they put vinyl siding on your house. Rebel can tell us they leave gaps in there that you can't see, so it can slide around, it can expand and contract, and yeah, it's got nowhere to go. It has to seal up tight, or it's going to leak. So there is no place for that to go. So there's a couple of proposed fixes by the industry and the glass experts, and one of them is the glass that's used in a sunroof is what they call tempered glass. Okay. So if you were to look at that picture that we had where the glass had shattered, tempered glass is designed that when it breaks up into real small, tiny pieces with somewhat rounded corners. That way it isn't like shards or arrows going around. Now this is a windshield. And we've probably all seen windshields that were broken or cars that were in an accident. And you can see how that windshield broke, but it didn't shatter.
Right.
That's because the windshield on your car is made out of laminated glass. there's layers of plastic built into the glass, so when it breaks, it doesn't shatter and go all over the place from a safety standpoint. So some industry experts are proposing that they simply make the sunroof panel out of laminated glass.
I'm surprised they don't.
It costs a little bit more money,
Yeah, sure.
and it probably weighs a little bit more, you know, in terms of ounces. But yeah, if that was made out of laminated glass, it could still break, but it's not going to fly all over the place.
Right.
And so that's kind of the proposed fix right now, but very few manufacturers are making it out of laminated glasses. And all the other glass in your car is tempered glass. The windshield's the only thing that's laminated.
Okay.
And that's because it's in front of you. So, you know, the question becomes, you know, what can you do if you have a sunroof? And, you know, a couple of the suggestions are on a hot, sunny day, hopefully like today will be, and hopefully what we're going to have coming soon after we get through this next round. But, you know, everybody's got the shade that you can close inside. Experts are saying leave that open.
Oh, don't shut it.
Because if you close it, now it traps the hot air that's coming through the sunroof from a solar effect. Okay. And so you've got that half-inch or inch gap.
Makes it even hotter.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, you know, the thing that you want to, you know, do as a human is close it so it doesn't heat up the inside of your car, but then that can trap it in between there. So that's one of the suggestions is to keep that shade open. And then the other suggestion is to have the sunroof tinted. You know, like limousine windows are tinted dark. Right. Have someone do window tint on that sunroof, which will help, you know, reflect the sun and keep it out of the inside of the car.
I'm thinking about mine. I think mine is tinted. Yeah.
There you go.
So
there you go. Yeah, they probably come tinted. You know,
right.
most windows come tinted from the factory, but you could have even darker tint put on.
Make it even darker.
Yeah,
okay.
make it like you know, like a limousine,
because you don't need to look out.
No,
so,
if you want to look out, open the thing. Yeah. That's what you got. That's what it's there for, right? And
exactly.
And then, of course, the other thing is you can periodically check there's a website, and you can use this for anything on your car. It's Safer Car, SAFER, safercar.gov. And you can go to that website, and there's a banner that you put on there. You can just put the VIN number of your car, and it'll tell you of any recalls that are out there for your vehicle. So, like I said, right now, only a couple manufacturers have done any recalls on this issue. But if you've got a sunroof, you can put it in there and see if there's a recall or any outstanding recalls. That's an NHTSA website, and it works out pretty well. So.
All right, so say we have a sunroof and you're in a parking lot and you come out and the sunroof has exploded. It has shattered on you. Would you guys be able to replace that if you come in?
That's something you'd have to go to a glass provider
glass place
to do
would have
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And you know, depending what your deductible is, your insurance company's probably going to cover it. I mean, a sunroof can be $1,000 or more. I mean, they're not inexpensive. So
okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just one other thing that I just wanted to mention. This is something that we started yesterday with them. There's a great organization. It's Gigi's Playhouse.
Of course, we know them well.
And awesome people. They really help out families with Down syndrome. We're doing a fundraiser with them. And so if you go to the West Side Auto Pros Facebook page and click just like our page. Each like, we're going to donate $2 to Gigi's house.
$2?
Oh, nice.
$2.
Okay.
And I would love to be able to write a check to those guys. I capped it at $2,000. I would love to be able to write a check to those guys for $2,000. So if you have a moment this morning and you're on Facebook, which believe it or not, some people are on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. You don't read it.
Okay, got it.
Just look at the
I don't know where you can check it out. I think it's
.com or .org?
Well, I think it's .com.
Okay.
You can find it in the Dewey Decimal System.
Okay, I'll look it up.
But anyway, if you're on Facebook, just go to West Side Auto Pros, click like on the page. We'll give $2 to Gigi's house.
Nice.
You're a heck of a guy there, Ron the Car Guy. All right, and for any other questions for Ron the Car Guy, you can give him a call. 225-9090 is his number. Or another place to ask you questions.
You can go to AskRonTheCarGuy.com.
Just that simple.
And I'll answer all questions.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.